underway at last. It's only the first quarter, but in actual fact it's round 2. Fellows up high. Oh, O'Dwyer went at him, and the umpires found a free kick. Not surprising. And that's losing sight of the goal and the ball.
There will be lots of free kicks, I would imagine, in the first minute or so now.
Fellows, late inclusion. More beautiful kick, 60 metres plus, down to half forward. Dersma gets around Hawke. Johnson goes down. Yates, short kick, back to the wing position and out of bounds. So a throw in front of the packed members section here at the MCG. 16 is Lovell. Collingwood coach Lee Matthews looking on anxiously. Fellows getting the front position again. Picked up for Melbourne by Newport. His kick up towards the right half forward flank for the Demons. Some tunnel ball, that's effective. McGuan. Back to centre field, in front is Wright. Can't trap it, the Magpies can. He takes the hand pass at midfield. And a good start to the year, right? He's in line for Recruit of the Year honours. Now, umpires paid the mark to Hughes. 4 weeks on the sideline, they certainly missed him. Newport again. Gets the hand pass away. Melbourne going forward through Lovell. He's gone for a pass to right half forward. Intended for Steins. He might get it on the second grab. First score coming up. Hit the post from behind.
Could be a problem down there for the Collingwood side because Manson's picking up Steins. Manson usually starts in first ruck, but he hasn't got the skill or mobility of Steins, so that could be a problem.
Plenty of drama. Kick in towards the outer side. McGuan takes the mark. Mick McGuan, one of the stars for Collingwood this season. One of the players who got them here. Goes in short. Stretch at full stretch. Unable to knock it away from Starcevic. So Starcevic well down the ground. Bright sunny conditions at the moment. Starcevic from half back towards half forward. Dersma in best position, up he goes, uncontested. He was in the fireworks right from the start. Short passes, Lovell. What about the hand pass? He's on centre wing. Down towards the forward pocket with the kick. White's in front down there. White rather takes the mark. Just outside 50. In fact, the man on the mark is pulled back inside the 50-metre line. Sean White. Low trajectory kick down towards full forward, and the mark is taken by Steins.
The Irish connection.
Steins only about 10 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
We see here it's not a really good kick by White, but it gets up in the direction of goal, and that was a good mark by Steins to take that from behind Manson because he is quite a tall fellow.
Steins gets the goal.
Well, a very much improved player is Jim Steins. He only started last year. 1 goal, 1. And he was the reserves best and fairest last year at Melbourne. And his improvement this year has been quite remarkable. He represented the state this year as a ruckman in the State of Origin game in Perth. And has got great mobility once the ball hits the ground.
Judging by that roar, and it would be a rarity, Melbourne supporters may even outnumber Collingwood fans here this afternoon. Doesn't happen often. Melbourne by 7 points. Just on 22 minutes remaining in the quarter. Fellows knocks it down. Wright tries to do likewise. Couldn't get it further afield. Healy and Dacos tangle, as they did pre-match. Down goes Dacos. Ball finally shoveled out of the pack. Tony Shaw takes the hand pass from Banks. Inside the 50-metre line. Healy again for Melbourne. Leading by example. A very good kick though. Tried to find Lyon with it. He may still do just that. Lyon gets out a pretty good hand pass, intended initially for Newport. Christian in all sorts of trouble. Ball finally booted away by Saunders. Up towards half forward. Lovell. Good tackle initially after dropping the mark. Dersma. Johnson. VOG last week. Grinter. Well, maybe not too many options available for him there.
So it's good play by Grinter then. Had no option but to go towards the boundary.
Boundary throw in some 55 to 60 metres out. O'Dwyer over the top. tried to find Yates. He's found Lovell instead, so nothing lost there and turned to stretch, and here comes Melbourne again.
Long kick towards half forward. Storming out in front, it's Manson. Great courage shown by James Manson. Was he pushed in the back? Thought he was. No free kick. Fellows is dragged off it. Spalding goes in. Then goes White. And eventually the umpire calls for it. Melbourne 1-1. Collingwood yet to score. 20 and a half minutes remaining in the first quarter. Fellows perhaps playing for his career this afternoon. One down by Steins. Missed it as it came back towards him. Newport slaps it out. Picked up now by Saunders to Manson in heavy traffic. Scrambles a kick back towards half back. Taken by Wilson. Well played. Too nimble for Kerrison. Awkward kick. They contest about 20 metres out. Spalding from the White deflection is off target. And through it goes for a minor score. Melbourne increase their lead.
Actually, it was a bad kick there by Brian Wilson. He hasn't got a left side of his body, Wilson. He cannot turn naturally onto his left foot. He had to, on that occasion, come back onto right. Could have had better advantage had he have gone left.
Krasiska back in the side this afternoon. O'Dwyer couldn't hang on. Dacos is over the ball. Still he goes. Well played. Gets it across to McGuan. He runs up through the centre, kicking towards half forward. Johnson's in front. Clears he and his marker. Banks behind. Held without it. He'll get the free kick. The offending player was Dersma, and Banks indicating he thought he took a little more.
Might be right. Watch this.
He goes down towards the pocket, there's Banks. It's taken by Taylor. This is Hawke, 55 metres out. Awkward looking kick, and the mark is taken by Stretch in front of McKeon.
You've got to play in front. Stretch from back pocket right. It's not a good kick. Williams has it knocked away from him at the last minute by Brown. And again, a throw in about 55 metres out from goal. Amazing the turnaround in condition from yesterday to today. That could be on the shoulder to O'Dwyer. Certainly he was touched there. Nothing for it, says the umpire. It's a scramble. And there will be a bounce, which is something we didn't see yesterday at Waverley. And it says wonders for this MCG turf. There's a free kick. Going to Lovell.
Against McGuan. Holding.
Short pass. Lyon. Lyon at the right half-back flank for Melbourne. Who have looked the better side so far. Early days yet. Over the top. Good mark to Brown. Tony Shaw. A magnificent game from the skipper last week. Shaw out to the right half-forward flank. McEwen got a hand to it. Now can he get clear of his tag Grinter? He can. Beautifully done. Can he steady? Into the goal square. Taylor in front. An Academy Award performance to back it up. Goal Banks. And he's got to take his kick.
He's got to go back over the mark.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. It's a rush of blood, isn't it?
Oh. There is team play and there is team play.
And what a great build-up there by Collingwood. McEwen, who's been in and out, started a couple of years ago and showed great potential, but just hasn't got that back there through injury.
That was a gutsy mark by Brian Taylor, given the climate down in that area. He was going back. Good mark.
Yeah, he took it right on the edge of the square. At the kick-off line. Reminiscent of the hand pass that Peter Hudson tried to give away in the 71 grand final. It was disallowed. That's a goal.
And Brian Taylor, who had a real purple patch last week in the second quarter, he kicked 4 goals and looked like he could really go on with it. And he is going to be a real focal point up there. He's a big, strong fellow. But wasn't it a beautiful kick by Tony Shaw to put it out in front of McEwen, and then McEwen showing the great speed and ability he has got, because he is about 6'2" and moves very, very quickly and got great skill.
So Brian Taylor's first goal. The difference is still 2 points in favour of Melbourne. 17.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Interesting ruck duels there. Neither ruckman able to get it out. Steins finally. Kick really ineffective. Lyon has to go for a hurried hand pass to Williams. Hackett comes in turn, picked up for Melbourne by Spalding. You could almost say a comedy of errors. Tony Shaw ultimately again showing them how it's done. Looks for Starcevic, couldn't find him. Grinter in the road for Melbourne, straight down the ground. Morwood, one-handed, couldn't control it. Picked up by Spalding, off target and one behind. So the Demons by 3 points, under 17 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Interesting reflecting on Earl Spalding, the man on screen there. He has kicked 8 goals 17, 8 goals 19 this year.
Krasiska boots it in towards the outer side. Great mark is taken out there by Shaw.
Routed well.
Close to Healy. Shaw, great player last week. In a losing effort, kicks towards centre wing. Big pack into the air. Stretch waiting behind. Sends play back towards the half-forward line. Lyon takes the mark on his chest. On the practice wicket area, Gary Lyon going for distance. A centering kick too, and Wilson drifting in front. That ball holding up in the breeze. Wilson taking the mark. He'll kick from just outside 50. A low one. O'Dwyer takes the mark in front.
And 51 would think, Don?
Should be.
Stephen O'Dwyer. Almost the identical position from which Steins got the goal.
Just too far behind, fellows, and should have been penalised.
That ball falling in short because of the breeze. That's twice now. O'Dwyer kicks and kicks cruelly. 15 and a half minutes remaining in the first quarter. Rucks go to it. One down by Manson. Lovell. Lyon left without it. Over the ball is Morwood. And we'll get another ball up. Steve Newport at the base of all of that. He started today on a half-forward flank and taking a turn on the ball. The ground is hard. Steins interfered with. He'll take the free kick alongside the centre circle. So the big fellas for Melbourne having an early influence. He boots it out wide towards left half forward. Wilson on the lead at full tilt. Didn't have to break stride. That was a very good kick. Wilson, left half forward. About 65 metres from goal. There's O'Dwyer. Kick falling in short. Jackson about 35 metres out. The Melbourne players on their forward line reading it far better at the present time in flight.
Ricky Jackson, who can always be dangerous near goal. Tricky breeze to contend with. That looks pretty good from here. Might have just drifted away. Did it? Yes. One behind, kicked by Ricky Jackson at the 14.5 minute mark. Still to go in the term, 10 points. Kerrison, who has the job of tagging Jackson, boots it back in. That's a good kick. Breeze is playing tricks. Lovell, who should have marked that, got a couple of hands to it. He might be able to make amends. Like a 10-pin bowling alley down there. They were falling over. Barwick, not a great kick. Eluded Hawke. He may be able to make amends likewise. Starcevic tries to farm out the hand pass. Almost in the back. Umpire says no. Barwick again inside the 50-metre line. Taylor on a lead and marks on the boundary line. Mark number 2 to Brian Taylor. He's kicked Collingwood's only goal so far, but this is just a little bit more difficult, Don.
That was a great shepherd there by Wright earlier to set that up to allow Barwick to get it out to Taylor. Great passage of play.
Now he's perhaps looking for somebody in front of goal to kick it to. Now intends on taking the shot. He's right on the boundary. Lack of noise suggests he's missed. So 1-1, the tally of Brian Taylor, and that's Collingwood's score so far. The Magpies trail by 9 points. Too long for stretch. Tony Shaw inside the 50-metre line. Taylor has to beat 2. Oh, almost a miraculous grab. What a great effort that would have been. Barwick ultimately gets it over the line. So near yet so far. Let's take a look at it again.
He's in fine form, Brian Taylor, and just unlucky not on the third occasion to bring it to ground.
Manson up high. 3 Collingwood players are there. Dacos, Hawke, McEwen. Unloads from a standing start and out of bounds on the full or behind. Wait on the goal umpire. It's out of bounds. Free kick to Melbourne to be taken for them by Danny Hughes.
He's providing quite a target down there though, is Taylor. They're going to him. As Don said, he's looking in good form. This is Hughes out of the back pocket. Members wing, awkward looking kick. It floats back with a breeze. The mark is taken by Mick McGuan. Just outside 50. McGuan back into the forward line. Banks. He's taken the mark. uncontested. More across the ground, but made about 10-15 metres. He goes in short and gives it away. Lovett got fingertips to it. That was enough. Took a deflection, eluded Taylor and ran out of bounds in front of Hughes. One too many that time from Collingwood. We're looking better now with just inside 12 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Here's the throw in. Stynes in front. Starcevic over the top. Dersma on all fours, battling hard. Out comes Dacos, being shadowed now by Newport. The hand pass intercepted from Healy by McGuan. Shovels it wide to Banks, right on the boundary line. He pulls it back, and Starcevic has taken the mark. Only about 15 metres out from goal.
Those Melbourne defenders don't look so sure of themselves. They're fumbling, and it just not in that passage of play. But for the last couple of minutes since the ball has been up on that Collingwood forward line,
Craig Starcevic has missed.
1-2 to 2-4. Should have kicked that one. Craig Starcevic. It's John Cain, the Victorian Premier. I suppose we have to give Jeff Kennett equal time, but he's a Hawthorn man. He would have been at VFL Park yesterday. Free kick going Melbourne's way will be taken by Jamie Dersma. He's been in top form recently. And the kick again dropping short. Lyon read it better and takes the hand pass, left centre wing. At the back is Jackson. Short pass, O'Dwyer and Fellows. Here's the long and the short of it. Christian gets the hand pass out. McGuan takes it on the practice wicket area at the right half-back flank for Melbourne. Banks in front. Dersma, a good knock away from him. Picked up by Brown, right on the boundary line. McEwen and Starcevic almost spoiled each other. Starcevic, quicker to recover, fires, and one behind. So now it's Collingwood's turn to waste a few opportunities, and Starcevic has been the main offender in the last minute or so. 1-3 to 2-4.
they look dangerous when they go forward, Collingwood, with Starcevic, McEwen and Taylor.
Starcevic started slowly last week, didn't he? But his last three quarters were very good. Manson, a couple of hands to it. Tony Shaw, kick number 5. Short pass again, and that's effective likewise. Starcevic once more.
A lot of touches. Craig Starcevic. Can he finish this one?
Well, Tony Shaw is also an inspirational player, giving them drive up forward.
6 kicks, Tony Shaw.
Starcevic about 40 metres out from goal. Slight angle. Collingwood trailing by 7. This is better. No. Well, he's getting closer. Let's put it that way. Didn't miss by much, but the margin now 6 points. Starcevic, 3 marks, 4 kicks, 1 hand pass. Busy at centre half forward.
And 3 points.
Yes. That's the dampener. Hughes kicking in, favouring the outer side. McGuan, who's doing well, as is Shaw. The high kick down towards the pocket, over the top. Grinter twisting towards the boundary line. It's taken by Hughes. Hughes sending play back towards the outer side wing. Newport in from the side. That was a courageous mark. Newport feeds it inside. Williams has the run now. Through the middle. Williams towards half forward. Clears Jackson. He gets a second opportunity. Ricky Jackson pulls it back across his body. And I think he's missed. He has. A half chance for Jackson, and that was enough. He slipped through and almost got the goal. That would have punished Collingwood. 2-5 to 1-4. Kerrison to bring it back. Tough game. Kerrison again favouring the outer side. Christian up, didn't mark. Manson an opportunity to Dacos. Dacos on centre wing. Kicks towards centre half forward. Storming up the ground and missing was Hawke. Off the ground by Grinter. Back towards midfield. Brown's got the run of it now for Collingwood.
And Collingwood supporters looking for a free kick. The umpire says it will be a bounce. Well, in cricket terminology, worthy of an appeal. Fellows and O'Dwyer. Fellows getting the front position. McGuan, who's played well so far, covers his full distance. Not a real sprinter, but he got there. In front is Lovett. Hawke, some courage to get that one. It was a real hospital job. In front, Taylor. Mark or free kick? Neither, says the umpire. Starcevic Gets the hand pass out. Barwick snapshot. He's out of bounds on the full, so they're wasting some of their efforts down there. Let's look at the mark again, or no. I don't think you would have played that one, Don, would you?
No.
O'Dwyer off the ground, nearly out of bounds. Lyon. And there's Christian, but it didn't go to him. Steins. Here's a chance. Spalding back to Lyon again. Steadies from 35 metres out, and he too has missed. So we've had 12 effective scoring shots at goals. 13 now. And we've only had 3 goals kicked and a few out of bounds as well, Don.
Well, the way this wind is blowing, it's going to favour the fellow that's prepared to put himself in front, because this ball is, the wind is very fluky and is dropping.
Fellows, Lyon. Neither can gain real control. Spalding. Bad hand pass. Steins late on the scene. Williams. He can get clear of opponents and teammates. Shoots. You guessed it. One behind. Well, in theory, Melbourne are kicking into the breeze. It's a northwesterly, but of course it does swirl around these stands here. 2-7 now to 1-4. 6.5 minutes left first quarter.
This very much a game steeped in tradition. They last met in the final round back in the 1964 grand final. As Kerrison kicks in towards the outer side. White, a timely fist, knocking the ball away from Fellows. Williams has been busy, pulls it back, went Collingwood's way, and White takes a very good mark. The little fellow is adept at doing that. Strong overhead for his size. Krasiska in trouble. Back to Wright. Back towards Krasiska. Newport coming at him now close to the boundary line. Good tackle by Newport. Dacos has got the ball right on the boundary line. Keeps it in play. Back to Krasiska. The centering kick. In front McEwen. Couldn't hang on. Dersma, nice pickup. On the overlap, Hughes. Back towards the middle comes the kick. And the strong mark is taken by Michael Christian. A couple of expatriate West Australians there, Christian and Spalding. So far Spalding has done best, but that was a good mark to Christian. From the centre circle, he pumps it back into the forward line. McEwen appeared to interfere with Grinter down there. There was no free kick. Hughes gets back. Deep in the pocket. Sends play towards the outer side wing. Stretch gets his hand to it and knocks it across the line.
Danny Hughes, 5 kicks and 1 mark so far. Has done well in defence. Although Taylor, of course, has 1 goal on the board and could have had 2. Fellows and O'Dwyer. Newport. Jackson. O'Dwyer. Out of bounds in front of Williams, close to the centre wing position. Throw-in will take place just above the Myer emblem. Sponsors of the VFL Final Series 88. Once again, O'Dwyer and Fellows, the 2 tallest players on the ground. One by O'Dwyer, didn't bounce kindly for Wilson. Kerrison gets it from Brown. And it's a real high ball that the backers love it. Perhaps should have tried to mark as a defender. The umpire has given a free kick anyway to him. Now towards the centre wing position. There's a chance for Melbourne now. It's Yates. Right on centre wing. Goes for distance. White, great grab on the 50-metre line. And Sean White taking his 2nd mark this afternoon. He has indeed got a sure pair of hands. Beautiful kick distance-wise. And he's got it. Great goal.
What a magnificent kick. I think he was aided by the breeze on that occasion. The breeze obviously, as we've mentioned earlier, swirling here, and in some places it's more evident than others. And obviously White then in a pocket where there wasn't any breeze, but here he is in front. You can see how far he is in front of his opponent, number 28, Krasiska. And what a magnificent kick. He turned the game last week by going to full forward in the 3rd quarter. He started there today.
Well, that was White's 2nd goal. Of course, Melbourne's other one came when he got the ball to Jim Steins. One of their others. They've got 2, of course, or 3 now. So great kick by White. And once again, we're going to see a bounce. 3.5 minutes left in the quarter.
The Demons by 15 points. Dwyer in front. Dersma Feeds Williams towards half forward with a kick. Pulled it back pretty well. Lyon, an awkward bounce. Melbourne have got the numbers. Wilson intended for Lyon. He's got the run of it deep in the pocket. Manson colliding there with Spalding. Kerrison tries to break away. Now he's in trouble. Stynes arrives for Melbourne and ties it up. We'll have a ball up. The Melbourne supporters liking what they're seeing at the present time. Good pressure. Kerrison momentarily was clear, only to be dragged down. Bounce about 40 metres out from the Demons' attacking goal. Stynes decisively down to Healy. This is Morwood towards the boundary line. He's out of bounds, I fancy, before he kicked the ball, and we'll have a throw in. One of the most resolute defenders in the competition, Shane Morwood, goes back to pick up his man. Boundary throw in on the 50-metre line. Stynes and Manson. One down by Manson. Christian in trouble. Tackled by Newport. Jarred free. High kick towards the boundary line from Saunders. Bounces out of bounds. And will be thrown in. Saunders. Former with Footscray. The big fellows go back. It's further down the ground now. And O'Dwyer and Fellows will do the ruck work. Eventually, O'Dwyer got it down to this man Lovell, who goes long towards full forward. It's got plenty of carry. Spectacular leap by White down there. He couldn't hang on.
Not surprised.
And the ball goes through for a minor score.
He nearly brought rain, Don.
What an amazing leap. That was poetry in motion. Here it is. Now have a look. That is magnificent.
O'Dwyer in front. Now in the back. The mark is taken by Yates. Showed the better judgment. Gets it off to Healy. Healy centering kick. That could have almost been construed as a free kick to Wilson. He put the head down and has been penalised rightfully for holding the ball.
Part of Brian's trouble is that he looks for that head-eye tackle all the time. Should be concentrating more on the ball.
Peter Dacos, short of centre half-back. Banks and Dersma. Daggett comes to Lovett. On his hammer is right. Down to the practice wicket area. Footing hard to maintain out there. Finally Starcevic. Back to Dacos. Right on right centre wing. Doesn't get too much distance with the kick. Tries to find Hawke. Well, Hawke, I think, initially went for the punch. Came down with the mark. Target is Taylor. Leads out well from Hughes. He's kicked one goal. Actually 1-1. The other shot was from the boundary line. And you can see that breeze ruffling the jumper down there. So it is quite stiff. I think the players would prefer today's conditions though than the ones we had yesterday for the second semi-final. About 35 metres out. And has missed again, I'd say. And he just scraped it in for a behind. Half a minute to go in the quarter. 1-5. Story of perhaps lost opportunities. 15 points the difference. Hughes brings the ball back.
Straight down the middle this time. Fellows is up. Knocked away by O'Dwyer. Wide of the congestion. Gathered by Christian at full burst. He pulls it back across his body towards half forward. McGuan on his knees to Dacos. The clock is running down. 11 seconds as Dacos was tackled. Comes across to McGuan yet again. He goes goalward. And right on the death knell. Mick McGuan gets the goal.
On the siren, here it is. And a valuable one for Collingwood. 2-5 to 3-8 at quarter time. 9 points the difference in favour of Melbourne in the first quarter, 26 to 17. Lovell farms it out to Yates, who fumbles. Now he gets clear. Oh, Melbourne player slung down by Krasiska. That would have to be a free kick.
What an undisciplined act.
And Sean White says thank you very much.
I couldn't believe that.
Very undisciplined.
You see this on replay. Watch Krasiska. He just had no hope of getting the ball, but the way he took out his frustration, that's just not on.
So Sean White for goal number 2. I think he's got it. He has. Great start for Melbourne in the second quarter. And probably the runner will be coming out to Krasiska from Lee Matthews pretty shortly. 4-8 to 2-5.
Well, just watch this. If we get this shot of Sean White, his kicking action, it's a sight to behold. He's only played football like Jim Stynes for a couple of years, and when we watch him shoot for goal, the taut instep, the straight follow through. Now watch this, it's classical. Bang, look at that, beautiful. He is a real athlete.
Back in the centre, Dwyer, favoured by the bounce, finds Lyon. His 10th possession, got it across to Wilson, back to Newport. Melbourne looking good, long kick, down towards full forward. Stynes, surrounded, got his hands to it. White brilliantly to Spalding. Spalding snaps and gets it. Or does he? Touched.
Oh.
He thought he had the goal.
I think everybody else did too, Dennis.
He's running away triumphantly. It was touched probably halfway to the goals. It's Krasiska. Put it back in. Melbourne increasing their lead. Kick to the outer side. Clears the pack out there. Yates waiting behind. From right half forward. Pulls it back towards the pocket. Up in front White. Off hands Lyon. Pulls it back. That is a magnificent goal. What a goal!
Now last week I watched Craig Bradley kick a goal in the opposite end, what do we call a check side, the South Australians, a banana kick. Now watch this, because this is exactly the same thing. Lyon looked as if he was going to bring it back in towards the centre, and look at the way he held that ball across his body and let the ball do the work. Fantastic stuff. Terrific skills by number 3.
2 quick goals to Melbourne. The difference is now 22 points. The Demons are getting to attack as the ball comes to left half forward flank. 2 on 1 in favour of Collingwood. Morwood. The underground hand pass intercepted by Healy. Brown. Manson lumbers after it. Williams pressures him. Off the ground again from the Melbourne captain, and almost luck for fortune for Spalding. Christian Krasiska. Collingwood under pressure. Now to half forward. Strong mark from McEwen. Collingwood needs some quick goals in reply. He was 75 to 80 metres out. And Dwyer will hit him amidships. And again that wind playing tricks down there. Socket away by Hughes. Grinter. Lovell. Plenty of distance with the kick. Christian at the back. Actually almost spoiled his teammate down there. Saunders. Lobs it high. 2 half forward. Ball hits the deck again. McEwen first to get there. Stretch looking for holding the ball. No, says the umpire. It's going to be a bounce right on the edge of the square. Sun behind a cloud. One of many now. Fellows. A little flip down. Lovett intercepts. And Fellows accommodates him with a good hip and shoulder. Dacos has been a lot quieter than he was last week. Johnson. So is he, I guess. That's his first kick of the game. Christian. Can he turn? Yes, he can. Short pass, and Saunders marks right on centre wing.
Saunders towards half forward. Not a good looking kick. It falls in short. Gathered by Starcevic. Dragged down brilliantly by Stretch. Off the ground by O'Dwyer. Towards midfield. Lyon. Deft deflection out wide. Williams with the run of it. Needs support. Dragged off the ball. Play allowed to go. Right. This is Brown. From right half forward. Goes deep into attack with Hughes. Out in front of Taylor. Takes a timely defensive mark. 5-9 to 2-5. Another possession for Danny Hughes. His 7th kick towards the outer side. Dacos appeared to be held. He'll get the free kick. They need more.
Play on. The umpire's called play on.
Oh, the players are umpiring. Dacos ran out of bounds then, surely. The ball will come back, I think. It'll be a boundary throw-in. So, the players doing it off their own bat.
Well, the play only went out of bounds. It's got to be out of bounds, doesn't it?
No question about that, but that's what happens when players start umpiring. Dacos is not happy. It was a 2-umpire system because the Melbourne player agreed. So we've got the throw-in on the outer side. O'Dwyer and Fellows. One down by O'Dwyer. It's going to be a free kick to the Melbourne ruckman on the outer side. They're doing it well at the present time. Plenty of options. Lyon. A distinct winner so far. Hurried kick towards half forward. Spalding was up. Finds the ball on the ground brilliantly. Earl Spalding. Good tackle by Christian. Knocked out by Shaw. Taken by McGuan. Mick McGuan's away from half back. Kicks through centre towards half forward. Over the top, the mark is taken by Krasiska. He's been swung on the forward line. Against Melbourne last time, he kicked 3 goals. This time, he's holding the ball.
No question about it. Great tackle, Jamie Dursma.
Banks has now gone to the back line with Krasiska up forward.
Dursma, who did a great job on Steve Kernahan recently. Little nudge by Brown there. Ultimately able to get the handball down to McGuan. This is McEwen. Right half forward flank. No one chasing really. Lovell, will he catch him? No! Shot at goal! It was a ripper! Well, not quite as good as Gabba's run, but it was certainly up there with him.
Well, it looked like little Andy Lovell would have caught Ron McEwen. McEwen lumbering in towards goal. And when he actually did kick the ball, we watch it here. McEwen, 1 bounce, 2 bounce. You can see Lovell gaining. And just coming into the picture, Lovell, and not a good kick off the boot, but nonetheless very effective.
It didn't really matter, did it? McEwen's first goal. Collingwood pulls one back, 3-5 to 5-9 in the first semi at the MCG. What a game so far. Somebody nearly had his head kicked off. Brown should get there first for Collingwood. Some space. Newport in pursuit. Won't catch him. Hooks it back. Intended for Starcevic. Could have marked it. Won't say should have. Barwick. Well, he can kick long. He's kicked that about 80 yards. 40 up, 40 down. Love it. Lyon. Playing well so far. Always moves around a lot, Gary Lyon. He's certainly doing that today. Lyon from centre field to half forward. The flyer was Manson. Couldn't control it. Back to Brown. White chases him. Saunders in trouble. Good smother. A soccer gives Stone the chance. Kerrison might have been almost a high tackle. Yes, it is. Perhaps accidental, Don, but accidents do they really count?
It's not accidental, Peter. What players are doing now is dropping the knees, and we'll watch this, and it's something that the umpires have really got to get onto. Watch Kerrison, he'll drop the knees, bang, and they are meant, and it's not a very courageous player who does that type of thing.
Jimmy Steins has the opportunity to bring up his second goal. He'll be about 25 to 30 metres from goal. He's on the 50 line at the moment, but he'll come in considerably, I can assure you. A long way from the man on the money. It'll come round. It's a goal. Stein's second. Melbourne's third this quarter.
He's been in the wars today, Jim. He had a neck complaint or a shoulder complaint, back complaint, whatever, and was getting treatment at quarter time by the female physio, and then just got a headache. We'll watch here on replay his headache. Bang, that knee. Could have done a lot more damage. Very, very lucky on that occasion. But look at the ball. Swinging right to left, a magnificent kick. Again, like Stein, White, a very good player.
Melbourne a handy lead now. They lead by 22 points. Collingwood free kick. It's going to Dacos. The supporters wanting 50 metres. Well, dare we say it. Collingwood bombed out in 1972. They lost to Richmond in the qualifying final. Then to St Kilda in the first semi. So the side that finished third after the qualifying rounds, or was it second? Second. A chance to go out. O'Dwyer strong in front, takes the mark, almost gives it away. Good composure from Johnson to run it out. Collingwood's future very much on the line at the present time. Johnson spears a pass to Newport on centre wing. Newport kicking towards half forward. Lyon appear to be pushed in the back. Banks took the mark, comes away, kicks towards half forward, telling kick. It's all Melbourne. Grinter, well played, lays it off to Johnson. They really do get the numbers back. Johnson kicking towards half forward. Lovell. Johnson dispatching the ball so well, using players up the ground. This is the youngster Lovell towards half forward. It carries half forward. White couldn't hang on. Manson through his legs. Jackson brilliantly tackled by Morwood. Play goes on. The umpire will have no option. And bounce down about 20 metres out from goal. Matthew Ryan preparing to come on. Barwick, or is it Hawke? It's Hawke that's coming off.
Yeah, Ryan trained very well on Friday night. He was the star of the session at Victoria Park. He'll certainly add some pace to the midfield area. It's a bounce 15 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Manson, Tony Shaw, And the run straight into his teammate. There are legs in abundance there. And Collingwood have gained about 3.5 metres through all that.
It's important now that players put themselves in front. 2 balls up in close proximity. The umpire will pick a free just to clear play.
Steins tried to find Wilson. Tony Shaw gets in front. Healy, well smothered again. Banks flips it over the top. Dacos hasn't been as damaging himself so far today. That's a real high kick. Strong Starcevic. And again this afternoon he's been about their most effective forward. That was the case last week against Carlton as well. Taylor tries to flip over the back. Johnson's there, trying to barge through as Krasiska. Taylor on the bottom. Ryan. Ball finally booted away by Lovett. Williams, clean bowl. And out to the edge of the square, right. Umpire's found the free kick. It's going Melbourne's way. And Lovell gives it back to Williams. Right on the defensive 50-metre line.
He's giving 50 metres. Now that was interesting because the Melbourne player actually kicked the ball away. Wright didn't kick the ball, he jumped over it. The umpire, I'm sure, assumed that Wright had socketed the ball away.
Handy if you can get away with them.
Yeah.
White, beautiful position. And Sean White proving a real thorn in the Magpie defence at the moment. He's kicked 2 goals and would have brought down the mark of the decade had he held an attempted grab at the other end of the ground late in the first quarter. Sean White directly in front. Now that is not a good kick. He's kicked it out of bounds, has he?
Out of bounds, hit the point post on the full.
And that good kicking style's gone out the window, Donald. What a shame.
I don't think the instep was taut that time.
The knee a little
loose. So there's the kick in from Fellows. A high kick back towards half back. Christian claiming the mark. That's ambitious. Lyon robs him of it. Now the umpire's going to go across and call it up. Christian's annoyed. He thought the mark should have been paid. And Lyon's annoyed because he thought Christian, if he wasn't paid the mark, was holding the ball. Both arguments are sound. Here's the bounce at half forward for Melbourne. Spalding over the top. Lyon left without it. Manson and Lovell. And there'll be a ball up. John Northey on the phone. Greg Wells in the foreground. Steins strongly down towards full forward. Banks in real trouble. Slung by Lovell, holding the ball. Good decision. The little man stood his ground. They were bearing down on him. He didn't have the ball. He was going to be the tackler. He brought Banks down. Banks is trying hard in defence. That's holding the ball.
It's also being belted from pillar to post.
Here's Lovell. He'll kick from about 30 metres out. White will kick this one. It's swinging right to left. I think he's missed. It's behind. Interesting goal umpire down there. Right-handed. Gives the crowd a thrill every now and again. He looks like he's going for 2 and he only produces the 1.
I'm not going to touch that. Morwood goes to the outer side. Fellows tries to claim it. Likewise ambitious. Good hand pass. Barwick fumbles 2 or 3 times. Might have almost got a kick for in the back, but certainly wouldn't have deserved it.
He just lifted his head at the wrong time. There he saw a Melbourne fellow just a little further up. He lifted his head just as he was about to pick the ball up.
Dwyer and Fellows. Dwyer wins it. Kerrison onto Saunders, who comes out with the ball. That was well done. And again, the pass not a good one. You wouldn't call it a pass. It was very high in the air. Even Peter Dacos can't read the bounce on that occasion. 55 metres out from the Collingwood goal, left half forward flank. Some long faces in the outer at the moment with black and white colours on, but I'm sure they'll come back. McGuan from Kerrison. No one backing him up. Starcevic. Brown did well to get boot to ball quickly. Wright making position. Lovett grab high. Nothing for that. Hand pass comes out to Wright again from Krasiska. Now surely that would be a free kick. Graham Wright to take the free, 35 metres out on about a 45-degree angle.
Well, I suppose experience here by the little fellow, putting himself over the ball and being dragged off it when he actually didn't have the ball in his possession, but they deemed the ball to be in possession when just over it.
Krasiska was penalised for a similar thing in the first quarter, so consistency there from the umpires as Wright shoots at goal. Looks good. Badly needed one for Collingwood.
Well, that little fellow on screen there, number 19, kicked the all. He made a real impact in league football in his first couple of games. Was Collingwood's chief goals kicker, but today he's playing further up the ground, and opposition teams now aware of the ability that this young fellow has got. Graham Wright from Tasmania, his first year, and going deep again, kicks his first.
Free kick out of the centre going Collingwood's way. 11 1/4 minutes remaining. To take the free kick will be Manson from the bounce. Tries to go for the long one. Doesn't get as much distance as he would have liked. Knocked away by Grinter. Picked up by Barwick. Straight into the arms of Danny Hughes. The transfers played to the outer side. He's got Yates and he's got a Paddock to move in out there. In pursuit is Ryan, but he won't catch him.
Melbourne lead by 17 points. Just under 11 minutes remaining. Spalding in front, is strong mark. Christian should have punched away.
Magnificent mark.
Spalding just forward of centre wing. Long kick. They'll contest about 35 metres out. White was up, didn't touch the ball. This is Manson in trouble. Dwyer leads the race now. Gets it across to Williams. Well played. He centres the kick. Manson couldn't hang on. Wilson, was he pushed in the back? The umpire says yes. Well, in round 10, Melbourne defeated Collingwood by 13 points. In round 16, the margin was 46 points. They won both meetings last season. And in their two meetings this season, they've only managed 16 goals in those losses, Collingwood. And again today, they're finding goals hard to get. Melbourne kicking at their 7th here. Brian Wilson has got it, I fancy. Yes, he has. Just snuck it in.
So that must be a difficult breeze. I saw Jim Steins go down to Wilson as Melbourne have made a change. Coop coming on and Williams off, because that ball must be swinging right to left. A free kick by McGuan. You can see there McGuan going over Wilson's head. Now maybe we pick it up here from the camera shot. Going right to left. You can actually see that ball swing back.
So the margin is 23 points now for Melbourne. This could be the quarter to put them into the preliminary final, where they stopped last season. Manson aware of that, looking for something out of the middle. Steins and Manson. It falls at their feet. Opportunity for Cooper's on the ground. Brown comes out backwards. Lyon works it forward for Melbourne. Taken by Spalding, who's doing very well to Healy. Into the path of Lovell. Wouldn't bounce for him. He goes again. Well played, young fella. Gets it to Spalding. Pulls it down towards full forward. White was up in front. Jackson an opportunity behind. Knocked away by the big fellow fellows. And through it goes for a minor score.
Big fellow fellows who like it. 7-11 to 4-5 as Williams has a stint on the bench. As we mentioned, was replaced by Doug Coop, man who was KO'd at Essendon a few weeks back by Simon Madden. Yates, Lyon, O'Dwyer on his own. Made sure the umpire saw it too, marking in front of Fellows. Kicked one goal for Melbourne so far today, Steve O'Dwyer. He'll be kicking from just inside the 50-metre mark. Doesn't get the distance. Kerrison tries to punch it clear. Morwood nearly had his hands kicked off. Kerrison again, the chance. Markle free kick to Banks, to Barwick. The advantage well paid. Jackson in pursuit. Barwick fancies himself. He's got him. Great tackle. Still should be Collingwood's ball. Ryan. Gradwin not in possession by his opposite number 45, Jackson. Brown in trouble. Good tackle, Steins. Up to Yates. Starcevich late on the scene.
What a magnificent piece of work by Jackson. And see the crowd applauding. Terrific stuff.
Kicks it out wide, a little bit too wide for Coop. Steins might be able to get to it though. Banks gets good opposition. Newport. Excellent hand pass to Steins. Right on the boundary line. Might be over on the floor, or is it a mark to White? Boundary umpire said it was out. Well, that's interesting.
Yes, that is interesting, Peter.
Why
Wouldn't that be over the bounce, over the boundary on the full?
I would have thought.
Might have been on the half volley, I think.
Okay, I'll go with that. Can't do much else.
No reason why we should.
It's a scramble. Umpire says play on. Well, nobody can. It's about there's a couple of dozen players around the ball, it would seem. It's very crowded down there. 29 to 53. 7 3/4 minutes remaining in the second term. McGuan tries to get clear, gets Collingwood out of danger up towards the midfield area. Some space there for Starcevic. The hand pass. Bowick wasn't really quite ready for it. Love it. He's opposite number 17. Back to half forward. Diving attempt. Lyon should get there first and does. Gathers cleanly. Centering kick only to find Peter Dacos in the road.
Dacos, the Collingwood champ, deep in his own defensive area, brings it out. Wright takes the mark just outside the defensive 50. He'll send play towards the members' wing. It's a high kick. Starcevic is in front. Stretch over the top, fisting away. Now it's a foot race. Krasiska and Dersma both fall over. Grinter runs it across the boundary line, but in the meantime, Dersma's getting a free kick. That's an interesting one. They seem to be side by side. Here's Dersma. Through centre, Spalding playing a marvellous game, was up to take a strong mark. A focal point on the forward line, leading aggressively, Earl Spalding. His 7th kick, he's had 3 hand passes. Dacos knocking away down there. McGuan tidies up. Chip pass, Banks takes the mark, he's at right half back. 7-11 Melbourne, 4-5 Collingwood. The late going of the second term, just over 6 minutes remaining. Love it. Defiant, as always, takes the mark on his chest. Lyon, who's been everywhere, has this ball on centre wing. Collingwood need to go away and take stock at half time. They can't let this lead increase. This is Dersma towards half forward. Fellows, well done, fisting away. Opportunity for Banks. Rides a bump. Brilliantly played. Gets it across to Krasiska. He runs to centre wing. It's a shocking kick. It wobbles across towards the middle. It's taken by Manson. It was lucky. Barwick, a high kick inside the attacking 50 for Collingwood. And a long race towards the boundary, pitting Taylor against Hughes. And it's out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in.
Well, Don, similarities here last week, as I see it, the way Collingwood are getting the ball down to Taylor or not getting it down to. He's got no chance, has he?
Well, it doesn't seem to be the scoring in that right end of screen, and Melbourne didn't do so well. Collingwood aren't doing so well this quarter.
McEwen tries to find Starcevic, playing a lone hand up there, gets ridden into the ground. Yates has got the free kick, holding the ball.
Had plenty of time to get rid of it, Starcevic.
Yates inside defensive 50. Goes out wide. Dacos has to fist the ball clear. Gary Lyon may be able to gather if Dacos doesn't beat him. Steve Newport puts the body in front of him and virtually scores a try. It worked.
Interesting battle between Newport and Dacos. Dacos giving Newport far more attention, although Newport has got the job of tagging Dacos.
Manson, but it's down to Lovell. To Johnson on the practice wicket area. Good smother by Dacos. Might be out of bounds, or has he kept it in? He has. Beautiful play. And marvel still at the skills of him. Strong mark taken by Krasiska. Now he's on the 50-metre line. He's gone for a short pass. McGuan, has he got it? Yes, he has. He's kicked 1 goal for Collingwood, and that was right on the quarter time siren. Not too much time left in the second term either. 4 minutes plus. And McGuan right on the boundary line. 45 out. Vital kick for Collingwood. Oh, not bad. He likes it. The goal umpire agrees.
Well, McGuan, who's played most of his football this year on the half-back flank, was a real driving force, a catalyst off the half-back line. He's picked up a lot of kicks. I think he must be ruck-roving. He's picked them up a lot around midfield, and we see there him deep in the forward pocket, unattended, and a good mark, well set up by Krasiska. And I think Melbourne could make a move across that half-back line, maybe swap Stretch onto Krasiska and Dersma onto Starcevic.
Collingwood's 5th goal, 35 now to 53, and they swing into attack again. In front is Grinter. The bounce doesn't favour McEwen. Taylor hits it down. Wright unloads from a standing start and has missed from only 25 metres out. And Graham Wright won't be happy with that. 5-6 to 7-11.
Had more time than he knew, Graham Wright.
Exactly.
This is Hughes. Towards the outer side ever so slightly. There's the time remaining. Wilson knocks it through the pack, taken by Yates. He wheels around, kicks it high towards right half forward. McGuan lunges at the ball, missed it. Opportunity for Lovell behind, over the top to Wilson. 40 metres out in closing. Brian Wilson, great kick.
Wilson's second goal.
Well, Wilson also had right by himself, and he could have handballed over the top because Christian was running out to meet Wilson coming the opposite way. But we see here on replay, Wilson sweeping on it, Lovell first, then Wilson running past. He could have handballed it at that stage over to right. A lay down was there, but nonetheless he kicked through it.
You've got the feel for Mick McGuan in that situation. Really went at the ball desperately. Just couldn't quite get there. That's our scoreline, 8-11 to 5-6. There's the time remaining. Barwick's over the ball. Shaw crashes his way through. Haven't seen a lot of Tony Shaw, who was a star in that qualifying final.
I don't think he's had a kick this quarter, Dennis. I remember him having 7 kicks at quarter time, and according to our stats board, he hasn't added to that.
Haven't seen much of him in the second quarter there. So that's not bad, 7 kicks in a quarter. If he did that in the first, and you're right, Pete, there's the bounce. O'Dwyer flicks it backward of the pack. Barwick, that's better from Barwick. Into the forward line with a kick. Melbourne lead in all directions, and Grinter takes the overhead mark.
In front of McEwen. Now he's got to play on. Almost made a meal of that one. Over to Lovett. He transfers it out to the member stand flank. Good knock on by Dersma. Covered about 30 metres. It's out of bounds nonetheless. Adjacent to the interchange area. Throw in to take place. Time on being played in the second quarter. Steins. Fellows. Dacos in front of Newport. Wilson stumbles and fumbles. It's going to be a free kick. That could be 50. No, he's given it back to him straight away. Dacos, right half back. 8th kick for Peter Dacos. Tried to find Starcevic. Good tackle on Steins. Ryan in trouble, out of trouble. Comes Melbourne's way. Hand pass out to Dersma. Up to the 50-metre line, knocked away by Saunders. Boundary throw in left half forward flank for Melbourne. It's been a good quarter for the Demons. They led by 9 points at the first change, and they've been able to increase it to 23. Fellows and Spalding. Knocked down by Fellows. At the back is Kerrison. Has to get around 3 Melbourne opponents. Consequently, the kick is high. That's a good mark to Lovett in front of Graham Wright on left centre wing. Lovett. Wobbly kick up to half forward. Lyon caught one from Fellows, and that whether the umpire saw it or not. Lovell has the ball.
Should have played the advantage.
He did see it. Gary Lyon. And Jamie Dersma looking a little bit proppy.
Shoulder, I think.
Gary Lyon has the kick. Manson. Well, it could have been anybody's down there. It was a raffle. And Manson, with his awkward kicking style, will bring it out again to the member stand flank. Lyon in front, Fellows at the back. Had no one to punch it down to, Fellows. It comes to Lyon again. Short kick intended for Healy, might still get it. Dacos, though, takes the rebound. Collingwood get clear.
Draws a man, goes over the top. This is Saunders in the grasp. Puts it across to Ward, knocked away by Dacos. Intentionally there, as you saw, just brushed against his teammate. Dacos, the composure to recover, centred the ball for Banks, who is in real trouble.
He didn't make an attempt to get rid of it on that occasion. Banks, as the siren goes for half-time.
Half-time at the MCG. Melbourne, handy leaders now, 8-11 to 5-6.
Melbourne leads by 23 points, 8-11-59 to 5-6-36 before a huge crowd. O'Dwyer and Fellows do battle. Healy for Melbourne. Hooks it towards right half forward. Saunders tried to drag it in one-handed, nearly succeeded. It's a race. Wilson puts the head down, as is his norm. Healy tries to flip it out, not successful. It'll be a bounce outside the 50-metre mark.
Well, Collingwood might have changed. They got Manson at centre half forward. Christian's gone into the back pocket, and Healy doesn't look too good.
He's looking a little hurt. I've got a kick in the hand in that skirmish. Let's hope he's okay. Steins beats Fellows. Saunders had the run of it. Seemed to lose it. Now it comes to Banks. Plenty of room for him at midfield. In pursuit is Yates. Banks. Long. Straight down the corridor. 2-on-1 in favour of Melbourne. At the back is Johnson. Kicked it into O'Dwyer, I think it was. Collingwood fans looking for in the back. No, says the umpire. Starcevic. I don't think so. Umpire in good position to see that. No addition to the score. O'Dwyer and Manson. Grinter had it and then lost it. Likewise Hughes. Chance for Collingwood. Taylor, his second. Just what they needed to start the third quarter.
Taylor might have been the fellow that kicked the ball, but what great play. I think it was by Tony Shaw. If we watch this, Tony Shaw just paddle the ball along with his feet as it came to ground. Now here's Tony Shaw, number 22. Hughes misses it there. Shaw sets up the opportunity. A snap by Taylor. Well done, Tony Shaw. And also Brian Taylor. A great snap.
The spirits are rising. That's the start Collingwood needed. Back in the centre. One down by O'Dwyer. Generally, Melbourne have got the quick reply. Will it happen again? No. Saunders. Timely mark at centre half back. And now 50 metres. Melbourne player running across the mark there. So Saunders comes up through the centre.
Interesting rule that, Dennis. Your teammates are allowed to cross the mark, but the opposition are not.
Saunders goes looking for Taylor, outnumbered 3-1. That makes it pretty tough. It falls to Johnson, claimed by Ryan. Well played, Ryan, and he gets a goal.
Play of the day.
Matthew Ryan making something out of nothing. Laid the tackle, then got the loose ball.
That was fantastic stuff, Don, wasn't it?
It was magnificent stuff. Alan Johnson has made two bad mistakes. Earlier he ducked his head when the ball was on the ground, really didn't look at it. And this time he's gone the opposite way. He's tackled a magnificent tackle by Ryan. Not noted for his kicking, Matthew Ryan has come off interchange bench, and you can see a very jubilant player.
Ryan and Johnson. Meantime, back in the middle, Collingwood. Two quick goals to start the second half. This is Wilson. A little indecisive, kept his cool, gets it to Healy, who seems to be okay. Scrambles a kick towards the outer side half-back flank. McGuan and Lovett first to arrive, keeps it in, and McGuan content to get it out of bounds. It will be thrown in.
Graham Wright must be off the ground, Dennis, because McGuan is down in his position on the forward line.
It was the Melbourne bench. O'Dwyer and Fellows. Fellows in front, his 100th game today. O'Dwyer over the top, slaps it wide. Dacos, not much space, but he's brilliant. Peter Dacos, inspirational, pumps it back towards half forward. Clears all and sundry down there. Ryan again waiting behind. No one went to the ball carrier. Lobs it over the top. McGuan surrounded by demons. Johnson fisting away. Grinter was held without it. Healy, sweeping hand pass. Intercepted by McEwen from 40 metres out. It's another one. No, it's a behind. McEwen is running back to the centre. He can't believe it. It may have grazed the post.
It would have been their third, Dennis, in 4 minutes. So the Magpies, even though they didn't kick it, playing much better so far. O'Dwyer, great mark. And the tempo lifts. The first semi moves into a different gear. It's gone for the hand pole, the pass to Lovell. It's got to come back, has it? No. And Lovell plays on. Williams missed one. Should have taken it off the ground. Healy, that was well done. Newport. Healy again. Williams. Chance for Morwood. Good shepherding by Krasiska. Dacos again. Dacos giving himself plenty of time and room. Third possession this term. Knock on was by Manson. Grinter. Spread eagles the pack. Plenty of room for him at centre wing. And Grinter goes long. Morwood in front. Fine mark in front of Spalding. Back to Dacos again. Same spot. Better result for Collingwood. Ryan, although the fumble may prove costly, he'll get around Lyon, but only just. Out to McGuan. Saunders. Back to McGuan. He'll have to kick it. Long to half forward. Manson has the height. Collingwood player down. Taylor, free kick.
James Hughes.
But the first mistake Danny Hughes has made. And a very solid contributor, Danny Hughes, this afternoon. Let's take a look, see what happened out the corner.
Yeah, Hughes tripped there, and just brought Taylor to ground as he came to ground himself.
So Brian Taylor, 2 goals, a chance to make it 3 for Collingwood, and 3 this quarter. .45 out. Sprayed it. Behind if it's lucky. It's not. It's out of bounds on the full.
That breeze is diabolical, isn't it, for all? Goal umpires, commentators, and more particularly the players. John Northey showing some tension there as Dersma clears it towards the outer side. Healy got his hand to it, couldn't hang on. And Fellows gets a boot on the ball and runs it across the boundary line unintentionally. White, as Don pointed out, on the left there.
Hawk, right.
Right on the left. I was confused enough with that. Here's the boundary throw in. Dwyer's in front. Fellows. They battle, well played by O'Dwyer. Scrambles a kick forward around the outer side wing. Kerrison close to the boundary line. Keeps it in, or does he? No, he doesn't. Was he held without it? No, he wasn't. And it will be thrown in. Vast crowd. Close game now. Back to 10 points. Fellows and Spalding. Healy. Long hand pass. Jackson couldn't control it. Morwood with poise. Hugs the boundary with the kick. O'Dwyer, it's out of bounds once more.
Centre wing, we'll see the throw in. Under 19 minutes remaining in the 3rd term. O'Dwyer with Fellows. Neither's had a really great influence on the game so far today. I don't think the ruck battles here have reached the height we saw yesterday at VFL Park. Madden and Deer had a good go. Same 2 again. Fellows got that one down. Dacos took it off the top of the pack. Ryan was there. Yates grabbed, when not in possession, will take a free kick.
Very lucky because Collingwood are away. And the Melbourne defence in tatters at the moment.
Yes, this might give them a chance to regroup. You can see that streamer out there, or piece of toilet paper or whatever, behind Yates, blowing towards that pocket. There it is. Fellows got in that mark. Hasn't taken too many today. Now he's picked out Barwick. He'll just get there in front of Lovell. Barwick on right centre wing decides to play on. Now that is a long kick. Manson at the back. Completely misjudged it. To Grinter. Shaw. It's a race. Johnson gets the front position. Looks for the free. Well played, Alan Johnson. Onto Danny Hughes, who hooks it up towards the centre wing position. Knocked away by Saunders. Lyon kicks it pretty quickly down to Spalding at right half forward. The bounce beats him, and it'll be a throw in about 55 out. Lee Matthews will be pleased with the side's effort so far in this term. Fellows looking for front position. Ball beats all the ruckmen. Nobody can get it out, and so the umpire wisely will bounce it right on the 50-metre line.
Melbourne lead by 10 points. A new sort of pressure for Lee Matthews. A bit after today, it relishes playing days. Steins, after the hand pass from Lovell, into attack, fisted away by the defence though, wide. Great fisting there by those players.
That was excellent defensive play.
Intent on getting some angle. Krasiska, I don't think it was Banks who were up. Here's the boundary throw in. Steins wins it forward. Pretty congested at the base of that pack. And the ball up. Bright sunny conditions at the MCG. In excess of 80,000. Loser is out of the finals race. There's the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. Steins. Opportunity for Ryan, who's been lively so far in this quarter. Brown's hand pass, not a particularly good one. Banks. Krasiska on the overlap from right half back. Awkward looking kick. It's a floater. In front McGuan. Back to Krasiska. This is Turner. He does well, does Jamie Turner. Gavin Brown on the outer side wing. Kicks towards centre half forward. Coming out is Hughes. Backed himself against the ball and could pay the price. McEwen scrambles a kick back towards full forward. Collingwood have got some numbers. Well played by Stretch. Over the top, this is Yates. Yates deep in his own defensive area. Members side. Great vision. Finds Lyon. Now he can run. Newport offers the lead. That's the direction the kick takes. Newport couldn't hang on. Wilson camped over the ball, lays a great tackle from the ground, and Kerrison is penalised. Well, that's pretty tough because I'm sure Wilson got some ball.
Actually, I think it was against Kerrison earlier for pushing Wilson in the back.
Well, if that's the case, that's okay.
Brian Wilson, who's kicked a couple of goals. One of those was from a free kick. Won't kick a goal from here. He's about 80 metres from goal. It's a good safe mark to Krasiska. To Dacos, who certainly lifted his play in this quarter, has to go across goal. Now the target is Turner. Jackson's got speed behind him though, so he could be in trouble. The Shepherd was on, holding the man. Maybe he's trifle lucky. Jamie Turner. Not a good kick. In fact, it was a shocker. Steins is there to do the batting. Lovell grabbed on the arm. Williams, quick kick. Lyon again. Doesn't he cover some ground? Yates up in defence. Breaks clear. White doesn't miss those. Made to order. From him right on 50. Looked for Spalding and shoveled through. Don, would you say White had a legitimate shot at goal, or was that a pass?
No, he looked for Spalding then, and the pass was on, but I think White should have gone back and at least had a kick for goal. Melbourne making a change. Williams coming off, and Doug Coop coming on.
A change that John Northey has made at least on one other occasion today. And Dwyer in front. Lyon again. That wasn't the required distance to Healy, so he has a shot at goal himself. Just bounces on the line for one behind. 8-13 to 7-7. Still anybody's game. Kerrison will do the kicking in for Collingwood. Under 14 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Again to the outer side. This one on the breeze. Covers about 60 metres. Fisted back into attack by Melbourne. Lyon, who's been a star as he carried forward. That's the free kick.
What a great punch back by O'Dwyer too. That carried 40 metres.
Worth a kick.
You see here, Lyon going to ground as Saunders comes down over the top. We'll see from another angle.
That was an interesting one, wasn't it?
Lyon having his 16th kick. Just in from the boundary. Nudges at Goldwood. That's a great effort from there. It's a goal.
You can see by that kick why Gary Lyon is a class player. He's class. It's written all over him. He's very much team orientated. He's got courage. He is just about a complete footballer. We see here setting up. This was a big punch back by O'Dwyer. Then in front line, looking for the boundary line, but just being pushed in the back at the crucial time. But what a magnificent kick for goal, and a badly needed one.
67 plays 49. Lyon has 2 goals. Melbourne lead. Collingwood attack, and Lovett takes a great mark in defence. Grinter up towards right half back. Intended for Yates. He still may get it. He does after a battle between Manson and Dersma. So Yates breaks away. Well shepherded by Dersma. Drives it towards half forward. Lovell over the top of Turner. Well done by Shaw. It comes back to him. At close quarters to Morwood. He ferrets it out wide. This is Banks. Banks from half back. Kicks towards centre wing. Awkward bounce for the big fellow. Coming through. Yates does well to fist it away from Ryan. And will have a boundary throw in. Melbourne 9-13. Collingwood 7-7. Just under 12 and a half minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Well, it's been a good quarter by Collingwood, but Melbourne have answered the challenge. This is Ryan. He's really lifted them around the packs with his pace. Onto Barwick. Not Barwick, Starcevic. Starcevic at centre field. Up to half forward. McEwen the target and marks. Amid some attention from Danny Hughes, who was just a trifle late. McEwen glares at him.
They're horrible marks to be under.
Oof.
That one where McEwen, you know someone's coming, but you've just got to hold your ground.
So McEwen right on 50. Vital kick for Collingwood. That's close. It's a goal. Just got it in. And Ron McEwen brings up his second goal. 55 to 67, still 2 goals in it.
He is an indifferent kick, Ron McEwen. But he's got a lot of ability. We mentioned that earlier. See the way earlier in the first quarter, the way he set it up for Taylor. He's got a lot of ability. He hasn't played too many games this year, McEwen, but he's got a lot of courage. He's about 6'2" and a lot of ability. If he can get himself fit, he'll be a good player.
2 goals the difference. 12 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Dacos, a chance midfield, onto Kerrison, up from defence. He's gone for distance with the kick. Taylor on a lead and marks. Well, this will make it interesting if he can kick this one. If Taylor can goal, the difference will be 1 straight kick. Now, Brian Taylor has kicked 2 goals so far. And further to that, 2 goals, 2, and 1 out of bounds. So you'd have to suggest he's no certainty to kick it. He'll get the distance. He'll be in about a 45-degree angle. In fact, a bit more. Probably closer to 60. Taylor. It's a goal. 6 points the difference.
Well, that seems to be the scoring end. The punt road end, which Collingwood are kicking. But the important thing in football, if you can get it cleanly out of the centre, then go straight for goal. That's where you reap the benefit. You see here this long kick straight out of the centre. You catch the opposition backs out of position. The forwards have the advantage. But you've got to win the ball, as Collingwood did, out of the centre cleanly. Well done, Collingwood.
The first semi-final alive once again. A great fight back in this term by the Magpies. Brian Taylor's third goal has made the difference. Only 6 points. And getting out of the centre so vital. Neither side successful in that at this stage, and so we'll see another bounce. Jamie Turner gets himself up. Over the top was Dersma. The bounce favours Melbourne and Spalding. Healy out from left centre wing to half forward and O'Dwyer. Great mark right on the 50-metre line. Well, he hasn't done that much today, O'Dwyer, but that was a splendid effort. That contest between he and Fellows fairly even, as we saw in the stats at half-time. White swings around, can't goal. Here's another chance for Melbourne. Spalding makes time and makes the difference. 2 goals.
Well, isn't football a funny game? O'Dwyer wanted to come onto the ball at that stage. Stein said no, go back. O'Dwyer took the mark. Had he have not been there, obviously he wouldn't have taken the mark. Now watch a shocking kick. White tried to screw it. Now Spalding. The pack just opened up for him, and he's got such tremendous athletic ability, Spalding. He just doesn't push himself hard enough sometimes, but he's got tremendous athleticism.
So the margin back to 12 points. Seesaw, third term, this one at the MCG in the first semi-final. It's one down by Fellows, taken by Coop. He scrambles it towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Spalding. He's found some form in the last month. A long, high kick down towards full forward. Steins is down. They're almost held without it. Krasiska cleverly towards the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in about 35 metres around from that left-hand behind post. Melbourne's attacking in.
The umpire on the wrong side of that pack to pay that free kick to Steins.
Christian and Steins will do the ruck work here. That's tough for the defender. Steins does what a defender would do and knocks it back towards the boundary line. We'll have another throw in. The margin was 23 points at half-time, so Collingwood have come storming back. The phone in use on the Melbourne bench. Kerrison, the small man, getting in front. Hurried kick. Lovett slips over, and the ball spills out of bounds. He's a fine defender, Lovett. State selection this season. Fellows now will oppose Steins. A real battle between these traditional rivals. Jackson, was he held without it? Not according to the umpire. Yes, he's paid the kick. For a moment, he was going to pay advantage. There was none in it for Melbourne. It was socked forward, so Jackson has the ball midway between left centre wing and left half forward. He's been quiet again today. Kicks down towards the pocket, not a particularly good kick. Morwood got a fingertip to it, took a deflection. This is Christian, deep in his own defensive area, hooks it across his body. Sure, what courage! What courage! What a great mark! The little man, leading by example, went back after that one and took the mark. A high kick through centre wing, big pack into the air. That sure mark could lift Collingwood. Stretch comes away. A bit happening on the ground behind play. Meantime, Melbourne work it forward. Lovell, a short pass to Jackson. And he has this ball on the line of the square, the attacking side of centre. And behind play, those two got involved.
That was the aftermath of it. There was a couple of interesting ones thrown, I can assure you. Saunders. The Magpies clear. Perhaps momentarily only. Up to the centre wing position. Melbourne have the runners. Hand pass from Yates. Not a good one. Steins. Looks for Jackson. Tony Shaw knocks it on. Coop nearly had his head taken off, but he ducked his head. A courageous decision by the umpire not to play that perhaps right in front of the members. He did duck his head. Tony Shaw having a few words to the umpire. Maybe it was the other way. Fellows and Steins. Out of bounds. Right on 50.
Melbourne made another change. The speedster Ricky Jackson off, and the former South Australian Todd Viney back on, or on for the first time.
No one making any headway, but that's in the back, according to the umpire. It'll be a free kick going Collingwood's way to be taken by Wes Fellows. He was the last to get up. He was the man with mud in his eye. Fellows left half-back flank. A strong mark taken by Brown, and away he goes, well shepherded by McGuan. Brown to centre half forward, looking for McEwen. Got a couple of hands to it. On the shoulder, says the umpire. Might be reversed, will it? McEwen. Oh, shocking kick. Well, it's a good pass, we'll put it down as Christian plucked it out. Taylor the target. Hughes got a hand to it. Melbourne in numbers. Johnson. No one coming at him. Transfers it to the member stand side. Yates and Wright. Yates again. Beautifully played to Lovell. Back to Grinter. Grinter at right half back. But leaves space for him. To centre wing. Again Melbourne has numbers. Fellows. Saunders. Close to out of bounds. I think on the full, yes, it will be a free kick to Melbourne at the right half-back flank to be taken by Grinter.
Game of centimetres at the moment. Not much in that kick. One sense is those sort of things could determine the outcome of this game. This is Lovell from the short pass. Sends another one out. Yates takes the mark right on centre wing. 10-13 Melbourne. 9-7 Collingwood. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Yates has been busy. Kicking towards half forward. Members side. Steins is up in front. It's fisted away by Christian. This is Turner. Slight fumble. As a result, a hurried kick. Dacos takes the mark. A strong one in front. Dacos, who turns 27 in 9 days' time. Tangled with Newport there. Centering kick now. Turner alongside the centre circle. Out wide. Intended for Starcevic. Who didn't have to break stride. Starcevic has this ball about 45 metres from goal. There's the action down ground. Taylor and Hughes. Starcevic lining up though. He thinks he can do it. Craig Starcevic misses to the right hand side by a big margin. Out of bounds on the full. It's tricky down there, especially from where he was kicking.
I tell you what, it didn't lack distance though. Dennis did it. That must have covered 60 metres, that kick.
It's a big kick. Barwick's off the ground as you saw. Hughes and Taylor have had a very interesting duel. There's the time remaining. Hughes towards the outer side wing. O'Dwyer in from the side. Couldn't hang on. Shaw does well. Got it down to Brown. He's tackled. Lyon. Brilliant tackle applied there by Fellows. And what's the decision? It's going to be a ball up. Well, that tackle should have been rewarded.
Well, we saw John Platten effect a perfect tackle late in the game at VFL Park yesterday. Wasn't rewarded. This is pretty similar. It's a bounce. 60 metres out. Fellows can't find a rover with the tap. Stretch. Making position. Right. Good use of the body to get in front of him. That was well played. Dersma, though, picks up the crumbs. Only momentary. Good tackle right again. Ball socket loose up to Tony Shaw. Pretty rough and ready football out there. It's not pretty to watch, but it's safer to be on this side of the fence, believe me. Dersma got a kick in the knee and all that, I believe. So it's going to be a bounce. Inside the square, just over 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. Favours love it. onto right. Reloads it to Tony Shaw. Measures the pass. Out to left half forward. Did McEwen mark that? I thought so. Umpire didn't. Collingwood supporters obviously did. Grinter unloads with a long one to right half forward. It'll be out of bounds.
Melbourne have got Todd Viney roving now, so they're going to lose a little bit of speed around the pack. Jackson usually does that job, but he's on interchange. Manson
coming off to be replaced by Barwick. Over the top is Kerrison doing the ruck work. Little back pocket player. And genuine Collingwood 6-footer. Starcevic close to mark of the day. The umpire's paid it, so we'll put it in for consideration. Good grab. And landed rather awkwardly. In the meantime, he's got the pass out to Kerrison, who seems to be in everything at the moment. Shane Kerrison, midfield. Can Collingwood get a goal before the siren? Spiral punt kick, all Melbourne. Steins taking the easiest of marks he'll get all day. Manson looks on. Steins directing traffic like a Dublin traffic cop. Goes across goal. Could be dangerous, but Johnson's there and does the tidying up.
They do that very well, Melbourne. Change the direction of play when they get the numbers back. This is Coop on the outer side. Chip pass intended for Lovell. Coming up Saunders, sensing the danger, does very well for the Magpies to rush it out of bounds.
Good play by Saunders. Outnumbered 2-1.
Lee Matthews behind the glass. Boundary throw in. A minute 13. Counting down. Third quarter. Viney, the two Rovers, doing the ruck work. Shaw and Viney. Brown battling close to the boundary line with Healy. And I think we'll have a throw in and or bounce. It stayed in, so the umpire has to bounce it just inside the boundary line. John Northey feeling the tension, and why not? There's no future this season for the loser. Spalding doing the ruck work opposed to Morwood, and wins it out of bounds. So for the moment, a battle. Nothing much happening on the outer side wing as we get towards three-quarter time. That could well be the three-quarter time score. Dwyer comes up. He'll oppose Christian now. Dwyer conceded front position. Healy on his knees. Shaw comes away with it. The clock is counting down to 27 as Collingwood work it forward. Grinter got a fist on that one out wide, and once again it will run out of bounds.
And I think we might run out of time for this quarter. 17 seconds, 16. It's going to be Steins with Wes Fellows. The line ball decision ultimately goes Fellows' way at the second grab. Stretch. Ryan. As the hand pass comes out, but there's the siren for three-quarter time with the difference 12 points. Last quarter of the 1988 first semi-final from the MCG. Melbourne leads by 12 points after they led by 23 at half-time and 9 at quarter-time. O'Dwyer down to Healy, who can't get clear. Tony Shaw making sure of that. The two captains tangle like two pocket battleships.
It should be a jump ball, wouldn't it? Basketball anyway.
We'll go through it again. Line ball decision again. Turner tries to get clear, just about tripped up by Lovell. A play on call from the umpire. Turner uses his pace, but now he got pushed in the back. And we'll take a free kick.
That was a long run.
And it was more than 10 yards, wasn't it, that run?
Well, I think so. Inside the centre square, you could measure it pretty well, couldn't you?
Let's take a look. Well, about 12 paces there. He did get the push in the back and the free kick. At the back is Hughes. He's got support from Johnson. Doesn't need it. He's well shepherded. Delivers it out wide. Newport on his own. Dacos is tagged. The pass to half forward, and Wilson slips over at the crucial moment, gives Kerrison the opportunity, but the boundary line is too close. The umpire's blown the whistle. It's going to be a boundary throw.
Ryan Wilson's got to worry more about the ball instead of appealing to the umpire for free kicks.
Throw in about 50 metres, just in excess of, away from Melbourne's goal. Steins and Christian. Jackson grabbed what he didn't have it, I would have thought. Ball socket off the ground up towards Sean White. And it'll be out of bounds. Throw in about 5 to 8 metres from the behind post. Manson and Hawke. Hawke on the right. Maybe he should be on the left. Dacos can't get clear. Now Banks was grabbed surely when he didn't have it, and the umpire says it's Dennis Banks' free kick.
Banks, left back pocket. He's trying hard today. Short pass, Krasiska, just inside the boundary line. Gavin Krasiska taking his time. Hugs the boundary line with the kick. Starcevic, good strong mark. Hits the ground running.
Too far.
He's gone too far.
Well, why didn't he play the one earlier?
Well, he ran further, Don.
Different umpire.
Yeah, you're right. Different umpire.
He ran about, I would say, 25 metres.
I think on that replay when we got Turner before, we picked him up about halfway through his journey.
That's true.
Here's Lovell. He's the benefactor of Starcevic going too far. He's tried hard today too. Anthony Lovell. This will test him. He's kicking from about 55 metres out. A lot riding on this kick. Long towards full forward. In front, White. He's done that several times today. He's judged at best in flight. And he's taken this mark only about 7 or 8 metres out.
Well, a little reminiscent of last week at VFL Park. White moved to full forward at centre at half-time, and he did exactly this thing. Dragged down a mark from exactly the same position.
So, Sean White. A lot riding on this kick as the one before. If he gets the goal, Collingwood's task will be a difficult one. White kicks. And kicks truly.
Well, they worked hard to get that goal, Melbourne. They really did work hard. And that's the goal you need. You don't relax though, but at least gives the team a little bit of confidence to go on with it. And Krasiska, although I thought he's been a good player, he does run well up the ground, has been a little bit loose on White, playing him from behind.
So a costly run resulted in that free kick ultimately from Starcevic. Again, it's 3 goals the difference. Sean White has 3 goals. He's Melbourne's leading contributor in that regard now. Ball kicked away by Banks out to the centre wing position. McEwen taking the mark. He's a long way from goal. They haven't really gained much, except they've retained possession. Collingwood, McEwen goes for distance. Starcevic outmarked by O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer from 50-metre defence line transfers it up to the centre. Yates, bad hand pass. Dacos overruns it. Yates gets a chance to make amends. Lies on top of it. Could have almost been penalised. Umpire says stalemate.
I think I'd make a change, Peter. I'd get Stretch off Starcevic and put he on Barwick and get Grinter or Dersma onto Starcevic.
He's been a pretty good player. Grinter has a fresh air shot. Barwick butters up, cop one too high. Dersma and Dacos. Dacos no support at all. It's out of bounds. Right forward pocket. Good effort by the champ. Unfortunately, as I said, no support from him. Pretty hard to turn though when you've got 2 Melbourne players descending upon you pretty quickly. O'Dwyer looks for and gets the front position. Knocks it straight to Tony Shaw though. Johnson tries to get clear. Good tackle, Shaw. Backing up as Greg.
Oh!
Out of bounds. Deliberate. Yes, he's paid it.
Where would he go in that situation, Don?
Well, he had nowhere to go, but he could have disguised it just a little bit better, I think, Dennis. Maybe gone further along the boundary line. You see here on replay, he went straight for the boundary. Now he could have taken a little bit longer, maybe up in the air or something along that line, but it was deliberate.
Barwick for kick number 11, and what would be his first goal. No. It's out of bounds, touched. It will be a throw in Collingwood's left forward pocket.
11-13 Melbourne, 9-7 Collingwood. Just over 20 minutes remaining in this game. Boundary throw in. Starcevic opposed to O'Dwyer. Shaw. Hurried snap across the goal face. This is Hughes fisting towards the boundary. Viney leads in the race. Brown, timely push on the shoulder. And the ball spills out of bounds. It was well played. Collingwood desperate for a goal now. O'Dwyer and Starcevic once more. O'Dwyer, front position. Won it. Dersma. Knocked on by Newport. Grinter the hurried kick towards centre wing. Fellows tackled by Wilson. Well picked up by Morwood. Needs support. Ball spills back. He did well, Morwood, to get a boot on that. Fellows picks it up and gets it to Shaw. To Banks. Banks in the bright sunshine now, confronted by Healy. Kicks towards half forward. Melbourne again in number. They get back superbly. This is Gwinter. Gwinter up from the back pocket. Options to the members' side. Shocking kick. Dacos, great mark. Awkward one to mark. He did it superbly. Now he's away. Dacos towards half forward. Sol Turner into real trouble. Lovell tackled him at close quarters. He gets it to O'Dwyer. Long clearing kick towards half forward. Morwood goes back and takes a very good mark, running with the flight of the ball.
Shane Morwood inside defensive 50. Out wide, Tony Shaw made some space. He'll have to get around Lyon. Barwick. Then it comes to Ryan. Inside 50. Hughes in front of Taylor, who'd slipped over. And Danny Hughes has done a particularly good job in the key defence post today. And the ball hasn't been delivered to Taylor on a platter either. And Lyon to Lovell, who's played well. Healy and Saunders. And Saunders gathers in well. Actually, Saunders hasn't done a bad job today. Lovell confronts him. The end result was out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in just on Collingwood's attacking side of centre wing, with 18 and a bit minutes remaining in the game. Still time to get Collingwood up if they're good enough. Fellows with Steins. Healy. Cop one a bit high. Out of bounds on the full. Hasn't moved.
No, he's all right.
Yates it is, rather, not Healy. The shoulder it was. Spalding went for the knock on, didn't get it. Christian measures the hand pass to Morwood. Tony Shaw will get around O'Dwyer onto Jamie Turner at midfield. Turner goes for the pass, and that's better. And the first time Taylor's really had a pass hit him on the chest all day. Now he's directly in front. Let's watch it again.
Well set up. You just can't do anything at all when you're full back and a pass comes from further up the ground to the full forward like that.
Now, can Brian Taylor convert and give Collingwood a chance? That's pretty close. It looks okay. It's a goal. 4 goals to Brian Taylor.
And Collingwood have made a change, as have Melbourne. Fellows going off Manson on. And Melbourne have brought on Coop, and I think Viney, yes, it is Viney who has gone off. So a number of changes as we see this being set up to Taylor. And forwards or Fellows in midfield have got worked really hard to stop the ball being delivered in such a way. The fullback depends a lot on the Fellows further up the ground.
Brian Taylor's 4th goal made the difference. 2 goals once more.
There's the time remaining. Out of the middle, it's Newport for Melbourne this time. Deep into attack. Clears the pack down there. Christian. It could bounce through for Newport's goal. Was it touched? I don't think it was. It's a goal. Steve Newport from long range. And what a big goal that one is.
Incredible stuff. Incredible. It beat everybody. The leg break. You'll see here from the centre of the ground. There's Newport. The long bomb. Bowls all players, bounces, a leg break, and was it an off break at the end? Just kept going on the leg break.
I know it was unplayable. There's the bounce. Kerrison. Steins comes away though. Back towards half forward. Melbourne meeting the challenge. The Magpies not done with yet. This is Saunders out wide into the path of a teammate. Brown gathers. Brown confronted by Coop, feeds the hand pass to Shaw. McEwen is on for the next one in the chain, but he elects Grosiska instead. Grosiska goes down towards the pocket. Ryan is there in close attendance, Johnson, and the ball spills across the boundary line. 12-13 Melbourne, 10-7 Collingwood.
87,407 the attendance, Dennis.
That accounts for the atmosphere. What a big day it's been, and a tough, uncompromising game of football. Steins and Starcevic stretch in from the side. Fists are back towards the boundary line. Out of bounds, it will be thrown in once more.
And Melbourne might have changed. They've got White now up on the half-forward line with Krasiska. Lyon has gone back to the full-forward position.
15 and a half minutes left in the game. Collingwood need a goal pretty quickly. Melbourne have answered the challenge all day. Grinter grabbed well by Barwick. Umpire has given a free kick. Johnson will take it. No, it's not going to be Johnson. It's Wilson. Brian Wilson, short of left half-back flank. O'Dwyer was the target. Doesn't matter. It's been marked by Lovett. To play on call. A hand pass. He takes it back from Dersma. And ultimately gets clear. Good shepherd by Dersma. Allowing to get the kick in down towards half forward. The mark for Collingwood has been taken for them by Krosiska. Onto Morwood. Over White. Krosiska again. Turner. Turner at midfield. Kicks it straight to Alan Johnson. And Tony Shaw has decked the Melbourne player. And there was an Academy Award performance by Rod Grinter, and the umpire didn't do anything about it. He wasn't wearing that. Lovell takes the mark at right half forward. I'd like to know what was said out there. Lovell from 55 out. Won't get the distance. Into the goal square at Wobbles. Dacos pressuring Newport. Bad hand pass. Collingwood running in numbers out of defence. I see Hawke back on the ground. It's out of bounds, says the boundary umpire. There's a fight behind play at midfield. 3 Melbourne players on the 1 Collingwood. Slightly outnumbered out there, isn't it?
Stretch and Starcevic, the way the game started.
A few more coming in now. And the game still continues, though, on the members' stand wing. O'Dwyer. Long kick by the big redhead. Oh, White got a mile in the air and went for the knock on. Shaw in trouble. A hurried hand pass. Turner palms it on for Krosiska. In turn, he'll knock it on further forward for Shane Morwood, who's in front of Spalding, but only just. Collingwood under plenty of pressure, and he gets the hand pass to Hawke.
Hawke's got some time on the outer side. This is Ryan. Ryan on centre wing. High kick towards half forward. McEwen does well. Knocks it away from Dersma. On all fours, McEwen. Socket away by Grinter. Out of bounds on the full. Just over 13 minutes remaining. McGuan goes long. The mark is taken by Hughes. Used his body very well indeed. Taylor wants a free. Hughes has got the footy. Hughes towards the outer side wing. It's all Melbourne out there. Yates takes it. Shepherded by Dersma. A couple of bounces. Yates, a third now. Carries him down towards right half forward. Roar from the crowd. He unloads a long kick. Big pack at the fall of the ball. The defender in front, Morwood, takes the mark. The wrong end though for Collingwood.
He's got to go long and straight down the ground.
Shane Morwood. Back towards the outer side wing. Well-weighted kick. Manson should have marked that. Got to his feet quickly. The deflection comes to Krosiska. And he does what Melbourne did just moments before through Yates. A couple of bounces down towards the pocket with the kick. Ryan tries to knock it on for Collingwood. Trying to soccer it off the ground was Hughes. Picked up by McEwen right on the boundary line. Does well. Feeds it back inside, intended for Hawke. Dersma. Well played, Dersma. Gets it across to Hughes.
Melbourne's defence pretty solid at the moment. Sean White, the big leaper. And he shows his skills on the ground as well to get it to O'Dwyer. Lovell, outside 50, has to go for the hurried hand pass. Good tackle by Morwood. Turner pressures and comes out with the ball. Collingwood need a goal quickly. Starcevic has marked. About 65 metres out from goal, 11 and a half minutes remaining in the game. The goal here would make it pretty interesting. And Shane Morwood, who's moved down into attack, has taken the mark. You can see the distance. He'll be kicking from inside the 50-metre mark.
And Earl Spalding, his opponent at the centre half forward position, holding his head.
Still 18 points in it. 11 minutes left in the game. It'll be close. Might just drift away, has it? It has. So 3 goals converted for Collingwood. I feel the task may be just beyond them. 68-85.
Great play by Morwood.
Danny Hughes to bring the ball back. Hughes favouring the outer side.
Oh.
Stepping back into the pack was Manson. He's got it to Turner. With the sun in his eyes as well. That was a fine mark, wasn't it? Taylor almost a one-hander. 16 points the difference off the hands of the pack. 10.5 minutes left in the game. 69-85.
Lee Matthews feeling the tension as Hughes kicks in. He sends now Collingwood are making their last grab for glory. This is Stretch, grandstand side, trying to deny them. Kicks towards centre wing, taken by Lovell, claimed by Turner, jarred free. Love it over the top, into the path of Spalding. He's away, two tired players there, Spalding and Starcevic. Long kick, who'll be first back? Krasiska. He paddles it towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in alongside the behind post. Inside 10 minutes remaining now. It's down to 9:52. Steins and Christian. They've made it hard for their defenders, with Christian having to do the ruck work down there. Steins generally has been the master. White comes over the top that time. Wilson rushed through with the ball. It's a behind. The lead increased for Melbourne.
17 points.
86-69 then. Dennis Banks. Members side. Morwood. Almost a great mark. Couldn't hang on. Coop to Spalding. What will he do? Has he got the accuracy? It's coming back. I think it just missed. It did. Behind.
Right behind that one. So 12-15 to 10-9. Once again, it's 3 goals. The task becoming harder by the second for Collingwood. 9:16 remaining in the game. And maybe for the Magpies, the season. Newport knocks it close to his opposite number 34, Mick McGuan, but it's out of bounds. And Williams coming back onto the ground, it would appear.
Coop going off.
And back to the action, which is on the other side of the ground at the moment. Dacos fumbles. He doesn't do that very often. Puts his body in well again. McGuan tries to pick it up. Steins blocks his path. Umpire says throw it in once more. Certainly suiting Melbourne. Clock ticking down. Every second valuable. Christian and Steins. Won by Christian. Well, Grinter got one too high from Tony Shaw. And he will take the free kick. That time he was hit high. Rod Grinter at right half forward flank. Now, a goal here would make the game, one would think, safe for Melbourne. He'd have to kick it some 60 metres. He hasn't done that. Into the goal square. Morwood knocks the ball clear. It's through for 1 point. Well, that could make it pretty hard for them now. 2 goals, 7 or 19 points.
It's 4 kicks then, Peter.
So
4 straight kicks.
4 goals they have to get to win the game. Kerrison brings it back.
Andy behind. Kerrison down the centre now as they must. Big pack. Oh, great mark. He's taken out there by Grinter. Ghosting in front of that pack. They were coming from everywhere. And the rugged defender pulled it down.
They're going to get the big fellows back there again, Melbourne, because Grinter's going to unload with a long bomb.
Nothing subtle about this kick. Towards the full forward area. Manson should have punched away. He was lucky that time. Saunders comes away with it. Pulled off the kick. It wobbles out towards the boundary. It's out of bounds on the full.
Great tackle by Ricky Jackson.
A couple of errors there from Collingwood in defence. The pressure right on now. This is Yates, an outstanding player this afternoon. A kick from about 60 metres out right on the boundary. A centering kick. O'Dwyer in best position. Christian fisting away. Knocked on by Shaw. Was it in the back? Lyon comes up looking for the kick. It wasn't there. Held to him by Saunders. Will have a ball up. 7:05 with the clock running down. Final term. The winner to play Carlton. The loser is out of the competition. Melbourne, narrow winners last week. Improving each week as the hand pass comes out to Jackson from Healy. It goes goalward and narrowly misses.
Still a valuable point. Collingwood 4 straight kicks away from victory. And with 6:41 left in the game, that's a pretty hard task, isn't it? Banks to the outer side. Morwood's the target. Time the enemy of Collingwood now. As Melbourne players being whistled back on the mark. Still 2 standing there. Christian, left centre wing. A goal here would lift their flagging spirits. He has to get around Jackson. Beautifully done by the big fellow. Christian, plenty of meterage in that kick. But not well directed. Grinter, who struck a purple patch late in the game. Mark number 6, kick number 15 for Rod Grinter. Out to Lovett. Lovett at left half-back flank, or just short of that position. He's been a good player today for Melbourne too. 2 on 1 in favour of Melbourne. Knocked down by Williams. Lovell at the back. Hugs the boundary line. Stabs it to left half forward virtually. At the fall of the ball is Healy. The skipper's kick accurate. 2 were there. And Newport would feel confident of kicking it after his goal earlier in the quarter.
Melbourne starting to play with a lot of confidence now.
Tails are certainly up, Don, aren't they? Steve Newport, 55 out. Good distance with the kick. That could be the sealer. It's a goal. Melbourne should just about be home. It's his second.
Well, he's kicked 2 incredible goals in this the last quarter. Stephen Newport. The first one straight out of the centre, that leg break, it went through the goal, and then another long bomb. He's had a big job today on Peter Dacos. We'll see here on replay. 60 metres out, a beautiful drop punt, and that should break the back of Collingwood. Can they come back? Only time will tell.
Newport 2 goals. Kerrison over the ball for Collingwood. There's our scoreline. It's going to be tough from here as far as the Magpies are concerned. Stretch leading in the race towards the boundary line. Out of bounds will be thrown in. 13-17 to 10-9. Inside 5 minutes now. Lee Matthews. What can he do? Not very much. It's the players now. Barwick battling with Healy, and there'll be a ball up. Some of the better players in the first half have drifted out of the game in the second. Lyon, McGuan, they've been pretty quiet since half-time.
At the end of Melbourne are kicking 2 in this the last quarter. Seems to have been the scoring in all day.
Yes. The crowd caught up in the emotion. Starcevic and Steins. Wilson towards the boundary line, taken by Shaw. Centering kick. Opportunity for Barwick, but crashing through was Lovett. Hawk upended. Off the ground by Grinter. This is McGuan. Stabs it back into the forward line. Well done by Hughes. Knocked it away from Taylor. Steins has got it now. Well played again by Melbourne. Steins driving around the outer side. Good mark is taken by Manson there. Inside 4 minutes. Manson. Short pass. Brown has been quiet. Forward of centre. Long kick towards full forward. Taylor in from the side. Hughes couldn't take the mark. It spills to Shaw. And Shaw pulls it back too far behind.
Well, Tony Shaw, the Little Rovers had a great impact on today's game. A lot of responsibility as captain. And just on his wrong kicking foot as he went in towards goal there. Normally a left foot kick, but he was on his right foot. Well roved the pack. Collingwood has certainly got a job in there. What Melbourne will try and do is hold up play.
25 points the margin. There's the time remaining. Spalding in from the side. Couldn't take the mark. It falls to Morwood. Left half forward Morwood for Collingwood. Down towards Taylor. He's taking the mark on his chest. Time is part of the contract now. They need goals and they need them very quickly. Ryan Taylor has tried very hard. He's kicked 4 goals. He's only about 35 metres out from goal, but the angle acute. Ryan Taylor. Looks pretty good. It's a goal for Collingwood.
There's been a tremendous battle between those two, Taylor and Hughes. I hate to say who has won it. Taylor has kicked 5 goals too, 1 out of bounds. But then again, Hughes has also instigated a lot of attack from down back, and it's been a tremendous battle out of these 2 players. But as I mentioned earlier, Hughes very dependent on the fellows up the ball, because that ball well delivered again by Collingwood midfielders.
Brian Taylor has 5 goals. Collingwood out of the centre again. This is Paul Hawke. Long towards full forward. Hughes in front. Takes the mark. 2.5 minutes remaining. 19 points the difference. So Melbourne, slumping towards the end of the season with 5 consecutive losses, have turned it around. Hughes driving wide towards the boundary line on the outer side. Missed by Wilson. Kerrison behind. Back into the forward line with a kick. Taylor sprint. Great mark. Needs to get up and kick it quickly. Brian Taylor, aware of that, comes up running. Not often you see that.
They're debatable free kicks, aren't they? We'll see here on replay how Taylor used his hands. A lot of players use their hands, but on that occasion it might have been Hughes that actually pushed Taylor back onto that ball.
Brian Taylor. The goal will stop the clock. I think he's got it. He has. 12-10 to 13-17. The margin 13 points. Brian Taylor has 6 goals for the afternoon.
Well, now it's imperative now that the Melbourne players pick each opponent up. They cannot allow them any latitude at all. A little slip could mean the difference between winning and losing this game. Collingwood, on the other hand, have got to attack and go straight for goal.
So the clock will restart now. 1:41 remaining. Collingwood defiant to the end. Ransom out of the middle. Wilson hits it high in the air. Newport over the top. Only as far as Morwood. Morwood towards half forward. They need a quick goal. Lovett couldn't hang on. Dersma feeds Johnson. The moment has passed for Collingwood. Johnson comes out wide with a kick. It's a foot race. Brown back towards the boundary line. Can't keep it in. Boundary throw in. It's down to 116. I think it's all over. 13 points the margin. Well, Collingwood, a rush of goals near the end. But Melbourne on the day have had their measure. Throw in. Falls behind the 2 ruckman. Lovell gets it to Jackson. Back to Lovell. He's on centre wing. Clever kick around the corner. Finds Williams.
It's a whole play up Williams and go around the boundary line. Don't bring the ball in towards the centre.
Final act of what's been a fine first semi-final. Williams inside 50, but the mark is taken down there by Christian. We're down to 40 seconds. Christian to Kerrison. Kerrison comes away, runs up towards the middle to Morwood in real trouble. Feeds it wide Krasiska. 30 seconds. McGuan looking for Taylor. Up he goes. Fisted away by Hughes out of bounds. The clock continues to run. Boundary throw in upcoming.
Maguire now has got to go towards the boundary line. Hold up play again, as Stretch did.
Stretch over the top. 9 seconds. Yates has it. Melbourne will play Carlton for the right to beat Hawthorn. Wilson was pushed in the back. No. There's the siren. Collingwood will go and get a free kick. It matters not. Finally at the MCG, Melbourne have won the first semi-final, 13-17 to 12-10.